Welcome to the Ardèche region of France, which provides the backdrop for the rally Monte Carlo. The rally has moved to this region to rediscover some of the classic Monte Carlo stages in what is this most famous of events' 75th running, and also in a bid to guarantee the snow and ice which make this event unique. But the warm European winter has resulted in the roads being dry, conditions tailor-made for the reigning world champion Sébastien Loeb. But there was one question mark hanging over him. How would his Citroën C4 perform? This was the competitive debut for the car that's replacing the all-conquering Zara. But it looked like business as usual on the two nighttime stages that opened the event. Loeb won both and his teammate Dani Sordo was second. Subaru's Peter Solberg summed up the views of their rivals.
Still, the Citroën, bloody hell.
And it got better and better for Citroën in the daylight of yesterday, with Loeb and Sordo trading stage wins. Sordo was putting in a great performance and had even challenged for the lead on the earlier stages, but by the end of the day, Loeb had reasserted his authority and held a lead of 25 seconds.
Everything is perfect at the moment. We have a correct gap with Dani now, and so hopefully we can keep it tomorrow.
Marcus Grönholm won here last year for Ford. He may have been the most likely challenger to Loeb this year, but gear selection problems and tyre choice based on the expectation of wetter, colder conditions left the Finn in a frustrated third position. Subaru's Peter Solberg was also struggling. He finished the day in 7th, but stated that he was happy with his progress as he learned more about these new BF Goodrich tyres. But his teammate Chris Atkinson seemed to be getting used to the new rubber pretty quickly. He would end the day 4th. And here is the leaderboard going into Saturday's stages. Behind Atkinson, Mikko Hirvonen and Tony Gardemeister are 5th and 6th, separated by less than 7 seconds. But at the top, Loeb's lead over Sordo is 25.2 seconds. Marcus Grönholm is a further 50 seconds back. This is where we are in the world. The rally is based to the north of Monte Carlo in the town of Valence on the River Rhône. Stages number 9 through to 14 make up today's action. So with just the short super special in Monte Carlo tomorrow, it could all be decided today. And the first of today's test is the 19.67 kilometres that begins at La Bâtie d'Andorre. It's an early morning start and the crews will have to rely on their headlights to show the way ahead. Mikko Hirvonen lost time yesterday when he took tyres too soft for the conditions. He's now trying to climb the leaderboard and is attacking 4th place Chris Atkinson, 17 seconds ahead of him overall. The Ford man also has to be aware of what's happening behind with Tony Gardemeister on his tail. But it's a solid drive by Mikko and he extends the margin between himself and his fellow Finn by another 4 seconds. So Atkinson knows he's under pressure. His aim for the season is to become more consistent and finish regularly on the podium, so he won't want to lose ground to the chasing Hirvonen.
And 6 right.
Oh, but he looks like he's stalled. This is costing him precious seconds, and with Mikko having set a good time, his lead over the Finn could be under pressure.
56 right, long at 70. Yep, 70.
He drops nearly 6 seconds to Hirvonen. The margin between them now cut to 11.4. And Atkinson's loss of time gives Marcus Grönholm even more breathing space. He's now nearly a minute and a half ahead of the Australian. Grönholm driving his own rally and not very inspired by it.
120. Oikealle 2
Ahead is Dani Sordo. The Spaniard says the C4 is faster than the Zara, but it's longer and wider, so it's a little less neat in twisty sections, which isn't an issue here. He pulls another 9 seconds away from Grönholm. It's already looking good for Sébastien Loeb. Saturday starts with the rally leader threatened only by his teammates. No one else can get near the C4s on the Monte's tarmac stages. Man and machine perfectly adapted to this environment. He wins his 6th stage of the rally, beating Sordo by just over a second and the rest of the field by 10 seconds at least. Loeb's lead now stands at 26.3, with the top 3 fairly spread out. The battles to look out for are between Atkinson, Hirvonen, Gardemeister and Solberg, who are covered by less than 30 seconds. The spectators already gathering for the next stage at St Bonnet. That's coming up after the break. Welcome back to the Rally Monte Carlo. Fans from all over the world have made the pilgrimage to these stages, including these guys from Mexico. And they're waiting for the cars on stage 10, St Bonnet.
Next year, go to Finland. Go to Finland,
Petter Solberg is running 6th overall, trailing Tony Gardemeister ahead of him by just 6.6 seconds. The Norwegian's aiming to score what points he can until he gets the new Impreza in Mexico. So he's hoping to overhaul the Finn.
100, keep right to the crest, 6 left mark.
Oh, but he's gone wide there. A great recovery by Petter. He pulls the car back onto the road. That could have been the end of his rally. And look at the replay here. Co-driver Phil Mills braces himself in readiness for a big off.
40, slight left of the crest, 6 right.
And despite that moment, the Norwegian is faster than Gardemeister in this stage. Gardemeister, in fact, is 10.7 seconds slower than Solberg. He drops to 6th and is now just 4 seconds behind the Subaru.
Pitkä oikein täysmiinus, ehkä 100. Mikä siinä oli?
Ei luista nyt oikein.
Oikein täysmiinus, lyhyt 8. Vasen eri plus, lyhyt sumppuun, 150.
Another driver with a fight on his hands is Mikko Hirvonen. He's been successfully holding his position ahead of Solberg and Gardemeister, but is also trying to attack 4th place Chris Atkinson. Hirvonen finished this event for the first time last year, so he'll certainly be determined to stay on the road. Caution can cost time, and he too can't match Solberg's pace.
150, oikea laita, vasen nopea pinta. Ja maali.
So Atkinson comes into the stage, knowing that his teammate has been fastest so far. Having dropped time on stage 9 with a spin and a stall, the young Australian is seeking to consolidate 4th place. There's Petter's stage time, and Chris is without doubt looking competitive. He's going to beat his teammate, and by quite a margin. 7.7 seconds faster. That's a great drive.
Clear stage.
In 3rd place, Marcus Gronholm has a lead of 1 minute and 25 seconds over the Australian. It's a comfortable advantage, but it still looks like he's giving it everything here. He'll not be keen to give away too much time.
7. Ja vasen täys. Oikein pitkä täys yli nypyn 300. Oikealle oikein, eli tiukka. Jatkuu oikein nopea.
But Gronholm loses 3.5 seconds to Atkinson on this stage. Now, no car other than a Citroën has won a stage here so far, so let's see what Danny Sordo can do. At just 23, this young man is really looking good. He did have a tough time at the end of last season, but he's come back looking all the more impressive, even bettering the stage times of his illustrious teammate a couple of times yesterday. But can he match an Aussie on the attack? No, he can't. How much slow is he going to be? 7.3 seconds. Atkinson still the fastest man on stage. With just Sebastian Loeb still left to come through. The 3 times world champion has often been in a different league to the rest of the field over recent years. Now, though, his young teammates perhaps a little too competitive for comfort. Well, the Mexicans are certainly still enjoying themselves. While on the early splits, Sebastian's times were very similar to Danny's, and now we're coming toward the end of the stage. And look at that, he's lost time to the Spaniard over this final sector. No chance of beating Atkinson, and Seb's nowhere near Danny. He's 7.9 seconds slower. Loeb's problem in those final few kilometres was that on hearing that his splits were comparable to Sordo's, he backed off. But his reduced pace meant his hard compound tyres started to cool and he began to lose grip. The virtual spectator shows here just how dramatic his reduction in speed was, losing seconds to Sordo over just a few hundred metres. So Loeb's lead is now down to 18.4 seconds. Atkinson's stage win, the first by a non-Citroën in this event, has extended the margin between himself and fifth place Hirvonen to just over 20 seconds. On to stage 11. And there was no backing off from Loeb here. He beat Sordo by more than 10 seconds. This man is far too good to make the same mistake he made in stage 10 again. Mikko Hirvonen also lost time on stage 10, dropping away from fourth place Chris Atkinson. But he too is out to make amends on stage 11 and he blasts through the stage. He beats Sebastian and makes it a second non-Citroën fastest time, his first ever stage win on this event, and it means he closes again on Chris Atkinson. The Australian is driving with a damaged drive shaft. It had come out of the hub and he had to push it back in on the road section between these two stages. No doubt he'll be driving with a certain amount of caution, not wanting to risk a rally-ending mechanical failure. So his lead over Mikko is cut to less than 9 seconds. Atkinson's Subaru gets a quick wash as he arrives back in service, but it's the meteor matter of his drive shaft that will be concerning him rather than how shiny his car looks.
I did hear some radio chat with you and the team on the road section. Did you have a problem on the road section?
Yeah, just a drive shaft popped out, so we had to fix that and sort it out for the last stage, but we got it back together and got going.
It's all okay now?
Yeah, the guys will fix it. We did a bit of a bodge job and made sure we got through the last one.
Sebastian, 3 stages down this morning, leading by 29.6, but in stage 10, the last 9 kilometres, you lost just under 9 seconds. What happened in there?
I was a bit faster than Danny in the start of the stage, and then I saw my splits, and then I tried to slow down. And we had both a bit hard tires, and when you slow down, the tire is going colder, and then you lose the grip, and more and more, and the end was really tricky, and I had cold tires, so I just tried to slow down. I had also some message before the stage at the end. It's really tricky, so I didn't want to take any risks.
The afternoon loop is a repeat of this morning's tests. So stage 12 is a rerun through La Bâtie d'Andorre, where Peter Solberg closed in on Tony Gardemeister this morning before overhauling him on stage 11.
2 right minus, tightening shot, 1 plus. 15.
Once again, he's faster than the Finn, extending his lead over him to 26 seconds. Even faster than Solberg on stage is Mikko Hirvonen. He's showing impressive pace on the tarmac and seems to be growing in confidence as the event progresses. His very competitive stage times mean the pressure's once again on Subaru's Chris Atkinson, ahead of him in 4th place. The Australian will be reassured that in service his drive shaft was properly repaired, so he can afford to fight for his position. He has a lead of just 8.9 seconds over the Finn, and that's the time he has to beat to hold on to fourth, 10 minutes and 54 seconds. He's going to be hard-pressed to keep inside that target time. This is going to be tight. Here come the finish boards. No, he's lost fourth place to Hirvonen, but is just 0.4 of a second behind his rival. A good stage for one of the Fords then, with Mikko moving up the table. Marcus Gronholm can't expect to overhaul the Citroens unless one of them makes a mistake.
Vasen eri ja puhasen eri pyöreä suppu 120 ja oikein pitkä nopea kirraa.
Oh, but it's Marcus who makes the mistake. That was a fairly hefty impact. A reminder that he has to keep his focus if he's going to get his focus to the finish. And the two Citroens are still well in control as we move on to stage 13, where the attention will be on Chris Atkinson and Mikko Hirvonen again. And here is the Finn about to enter the stage. Mikko's been in such good form lately, with 6 podiums on the last 8 rallies of 2006, and he's looking good again here, and an event he's only managed to finish once. Atkinson, though, has been driving well too. Like Mikko, he's got his first Monte Carlo stage win today, and rally fans will know he's capable of driving exceptionally quickly. So Mikko's coming towards the end of the stage now. It's been a topsy-turvy battle so far, with tyre choices, setup and the slightest difference in driving all playing a part in who beats who. Mikko is just a few hundred yards from the finish, and there's the clock. His stage time is 12 minutes and 40 seconds dead.
Had the same problem with the brakes than before, and it was not. I didn't have a good confidence in every braking, so not a good stage, but we'll see.
Here's Atkinson heading towards the final section of the stage. The splits suggest he might just have an advantage over Mikko, but stages aren't won or lost until the finish line. Remember, he's just 0.4 of a second behind, and there's the time he has to beat to regain fourth place. And I think he's going to do it. Yes, he's much faster and has retaken fourth place.
Chris, it looks like you may have just got fourth place off Hirvonen there.
Yeah, considering how ordinary I drove in the first one there, I had to pull my finger out again.
You've had a blinding day today.
Yeah, it's a couple of good stages and a couple of really bad ones. I just got to sort myself out, get one good one in this last one, then we were right.
Those battles behind him won't concern Sebastian Loeb. The rally leader is playing it safe and is content even to lose time to his teammate. Seb's only 6th fastest on stage, dropping 6.7 seconds to Dani Sordo, but he still leads the rally by more than 23 seconds. Confirmation there that Chris Atkinson retakes fourth position, but this battle looks as if it could go all the way. All other positions in the top 8 remain the same. Loeb's the big draw for the local fans as he leaves the end of stage 13, but it's the battle for fourth place that's holding our attention. The last stage of the day is coming up after the break. Welcome back to southeastern France and the rally of Monte Carlo. Before we go into the final stage of the day, let's catch up with what's been happening to some of the drivers lower down the leaderboard. Henning Solberg has struggled in the Ford this weekend, and he was lucky to get away with this spin on stage 10. He's 15th overall. His Stobart Ford teammate Matthew Wilson is driving on tarmac in the 06 Focus for the first time and is running 13th.
20 left, 2 minus, half long. Absolute right in, 160. Right 6 minus, 60.
Just one place ahead is privateer Gareth McHale, who's had a consistent day's rallying in his Focus. Manfred Stoll's brake problems cost him a points position yesterday, and his Zara's front brakes have failed again today. He's 11th.
Okay. 4-3 lang, Achtung.
In 10th place is Jean-Marie Quoc, driving a Peugeot 307. A couple of top 6 stage times this morning show he's not without talent. Just outside the driver's points, Jari-Matti Latvala's been fighting all day to catch Jan Kopecky in 8th place and is just 5.4 seconds behind the Czech. Let's catch up with him now on stage 14. This is the final mountain stage of the event, with only the super special to come tomorrow, so it's crucial. And Latvala is pushing hard to overhaul his rival. Oh no! That could prove very costly. He slid wide on the loose gravel, hitting that stone wall very hard. And look at that! His rival Jan Kopecky in the Skoda has caught him up on the stage. Latvala is forced to retire with the roll cage too badly damaged. Mikko Hirvonen has also been involved in a touch-and-go battle, gaining and then losing 4th place. And this stage offers him his best and probably last real chance to fight back. He sets another great time, taking the battle to Chris Atkinson ahead of him. Well, let's find out if Atkinson can hold out. He's 7.2 seconds ahead of the Finn coming into the stage. Remember, it's a first competitive drive for Chris on BF Goodrich rubber. He seems to have made the transition from Pirelli very cleanly. There's the time he has to beat to retain 4th place. Once again, this could be a tight finish. There's scarcely anything in it. Will he do it? No! So close, but he's lost out again and will go into the Super Special tomorrow, just 0.8 of a second behind his rival. No such tension as far as Marcus Gronholm is concerned. He's been under no pressure today, though he still managed to break a wheel rim when he hit the bridge on stage 12. He's still secure in 3rd place. Similarly secure is Danny Sordo ahead of him, and what a fantastic performance this has been from the Spaniard. His first rally in the C4, and he's driven as if he's had the car forever. He's in line for a 2nd place finish. And in line to win the 75th Monte Carlo Rally is its 3 times winning partnership of Sebastian Loeb and Daniel Elena. So, even with the rally moving away from the route they know, it still posed them no problems. All that awaits the crews tomorrow is the 2.8-kilometre stage around Monte Carlo. So most of the top 8 will be confident of holding their position until the end. But with Chris Atkinson and Mikko Hirvonen separated by just 0.8 of a second, 4th place is very much up for grabs.
Chris in 5th place, but 0.8 of a second behind Mikko for 4th place. You've got to have a go for it, and they always say it's better to chase than to be chased.
Yeah, it's okay. It would have been nice to finish today with a bit of a lead, maybe like 10 seconds or something, but it's 0.8 behind, and he's been chasing us all day and got in front at the end.
It's going to be, I think it's the first time we're going to kind of fight for the position in Super Special, and that's the last stage of the rally, so it's going to be very, very interesting.
Sebastian, first overall, day 2, finished, only a Super Special tomorrow, another great day and really a perfect event.
Yeah, it was a perfect event for me and for all the team, because Danny is at the moment just behind me. We are first and second. So for our first race with a C4, it's if it continue like this tomorrow, it would be a great result, and that's very nice, and it's a very good news for the future.
So make sure you join us tomorrow for what should be a unique spectacle, WRC car racing around the streets of Monte Carlo. Until then, find all the latest rally news at WRC.com.